Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you around with me as I eat food. That sounds like a fun video. Clearly, I have just rolled out of bed. That's really my routine in the morning. I literally roll out of bed, throw on a hat and some clothes and take my son to school. And then when I get back, my husband's usually bringing my daughter to school. We divide and conquer. I cannot wait till they are at the same school next year. It's gonna be so much easier. Now, when I get back from taking one of the kids to school, I'm usually not hungry. And I'll just, come home, start cleaning up or doing whatever I have to do, working. And then I'll just eat whenever I get hungry. But today, I'm starving, so we're gonna go ahead and make some breakfast. And then after, my husband and I think we're doing this, we're gonna go for a walk together just to get in some exercise. I think we're gonna take the dog. And I thought it would be fun to kind of interview him and ask him some questions about his transition to a plant-based diet. And the obstacles he kind of had to overcome in his own mind. I get so many questions from y'all over on Instagram about how did I get my family to switch over or my husband to switch over. And I thought it would be great to let's just ask him instead of me telling you. Let's have him tell you. So for breakfast, I'm eating one of my favorites, Rip's Big Bowl, although I label it Tia's Big Bowl for the pantry. But y'all, this cereal, I know if you've been here on this channel for a while, I love it. It gives me so much energy that lasts throughout the whole day. And this is one of the only cereals that keeps me full for hours. And the great thing about it, it is for a cereal, this is as whole as you can get with, grains. It is really amazing for you. And like I said, it will give you such great energy and keep you full for hours. We're walking, we're gonna ask this guy some questions. Oh, shoot. So here's what I was thinking. What were we talking about earlier? So before you moved over to eating plant-based, what were your reservations? Because remember when I first did it, I was like, hey, I'm going plant-based, and you said, oh, that's great, but I'm not giving up meat. Yeah. Or my eggs, you loved eggs.
Or cheese.
So what made you say those things? What were you feeling at the time?
I think feeling uncomfortable about making a change and having to give up barbecue, which we obviously live in Texas, and this is barbecue country, right? Where it's like religion. So just all those comfort foods, those comfort things, barbecue, and I'm a big breakfast person, so eggs, omelets, breakfast sausage, all that stuff that I've loved and I've grown up on. Yeah. That's kind of a big jump moving away from that.
Okay, so what about, I want you to talk about the the whole thought that men need to have meat and dairy and eggs to build muscles and strong bones. So your thoughts about that in the beginning, did that play any part of you not wanting to switch over?
Yeah, I think that does play a part. I think men especially have this just tendency to think you know, it's meat, you eat meat, you eat steak, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's a manly kind of thing. So yeah, I think to some level, you know, some men more than others, and not that was like a big driving force for me or anything, or decision.
But you're like a big guy.
Yeah,
like,
so
you're 6'4", you're muscular, so
ish.
you're muscular.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know, and the way I grew up, obviously meat was served with, you know, every dinner.
Right.
You know, sandwiches, turkey, ham, all that kind of stuff growing up for lunches.
So you
Sausage,
felt like you had
eggs. Yeah, it was kind of a big part of my you know, growing up and who I was.
So what made you finally forget about those feelings, or what made those feelings go away, and what made you decide to start eating more plant-based because it was a slow transition for you. So
Yeah.
What made you start?
Which I think it will be for a lot of guys too. It will be a slow process, a slow transition. I think with just guys in general, they've got to come to that conclusion themselves over time. And so for me, it was like watching the Game Changers, watching Forks Over Knives, you know, as you were kind of growing in this and you were learning more and you were out there kind of just getting information, and I was watching that stuff with you. That was that started kind of sinking in over time.
So you would definitely recommend?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I would do that. If
someone had like a family member who was resistant, you would recommend them watching those?
Absolutely. I would say, yeah, Forks Over Knives, What the Health, the Game Changers. The Game Changers for me was a big one.
Yeah.
That really, I think
that's big for a lot of guys.
That's big for guys because it shoots, you know, it's that performance aspect, you know, and that you don't need meat and dairy and all this kind of stuff to be able to thrive and to perform well and to build muscle and all of that. It shows it from that scientific perspective too. So that was big for me. And so then I was like, oh, all right, well, maybe, you know, you just start small.
And see how you feel.
Yeah, and see how you feel. And so as I started kind of starting small, I recognized the less meat I was eating, the better I was feeling.
And eggs and dairy.
Eggs and dairy too, yeah, and cheese and all that kind of stuff.
Because I'm so surprised you actually gave up eggs.
I know.
More than anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was one of the first things to go, which was surprising. I want you to mention Rip's Big Bowl.
Oh yeah,
which I actually just ate.
Yes. So that was I think that's a big thing for guys too, is Rip's. We started eating Rip's Big Bowl, and like right off the bat, it kept me full in the morning. And I'm a big breakfast guy. I love big breakfast. Like that's my thing. And so that's what I was really afraid of giving up. But I'd have a big bowl of Rip's Big Bowl. I'd add like bananas. I'd add strawberries.
Jordan's Big Bowl.
Yeah. And now it's become JC's Big Bowl. I do my own. That I really noticed, like off the bat, was something I could incorporate into my diet.
Yeah.
And that's been like a staple.
And I think that was such a huge improvement in the way you physically felt, because you were so used to eating eggs in the morning and cheese and like sometimes bacon, not a lot though, but you know, you would feel kind of crappy after eating that.
Yeah.
And so to go from that to a delicious bowl of amazing grains as cereal, and then to have all this energy and be full, would you say that was like a huge, noticed like a huge difference?
That really helped for me kickstart the day and put me in a mindset of I don't need meat, I don't need dairy, I don't need eggs, all that kind of stuff too.
And when you already feel great,
you
don't want to
mess that up.
Feeling. No. Okay, so to recap, what would be some top tips that you could give someone out there who has a family member, a wife or a husband maybe, who they want to move over to a plant-based diet, but their spouse maybe or their partner may be just a bit resistant?
So I would say, number one, be patient with your spouse or family member, whoever that may be. Let them come to this on their own terms. I think for anybody, it's a transition. It takes time. And then number two, don't have them watch, but give them an opportunity to watch some of these great documentaries out here, like Game Changers, Forks Over Knives, what the health. And whether you're sitting down and if you guys have a time at night where you're watching TV together or movies, put it on and start watching it. So you want to watch it, and chances are they'll probably pick some of it up too. Hopefully give it a chance, because there's just great information out there, and that's a good thing too. I would say as a third one, just be an example to that spouse or to that family member. Stick to it as best as you can, and just through your example, they will see, and it will help them. Really give them inspiration. And I think with Tia, seeing her stick to it, and really adopting it, and she was feeling better, and she was losing weight, and that's just going to spark interest.
Yeah.
So, and that will kind of help them, I think,
Would you
in their
add to
transition.
that to just continue, to stick to it and to offer plant-based meals as much as possible?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what I would add.
Yeah.
You're such a good plant-based helper. So for lunch, I'm just throwing some stuff together, which I feel like I do a lot of the time for lunch. If I'm not having leftovers, I'm just kind of piecing some things together, and I'm kind of doing both of those things right now. So I have some leftover broccoli. This is about half of a bag of frozen broccoli. And then I found some leftover red beans in the refrigerator. It's not that much, so I knew I needed some more food. So I found these golden potatoes, and I just popped them in the Instant Pot really fast and cooked them for about 8 minutes, and then I'm just cutting them up. And of course, I will link the red beans and rice recipe in the description box for you and add it up above if you don't have it. Oh man, it's so good. You're gonna want to get it. But so here's what I'm eating for lunch. But I am also going to be topping the broccoli and the potatoes with my Hungry Vegan Mama cheese sauce. Also, if you don't have this, I would definitely try it out, and I will link this for you as well. So here is my lunch. If a little cheese sauce gets on the beans, well, so be it. I'm sure it'll be just as delicious. And there we go, filling and yummy. All right, I'm going to get the kids from school now, and after they have a couple extracurricular activities, so it's going to be a busy evening, and I don't want to be slaving away in the kitchen. But the great thing is, I only do simple, so I can't wait to show you the meal that takes literally 5 minutes to make that we all enjoy. So can't wait to show you that. Let's go get these kids. All right, so it is time for dinner, and today I'm making something that we all enjoy, my not fried rice. Now, I get asked frequently over on Instagram, Tia, what do you do if your kids don't want to eat what you're eating? And I totally understand that. There are many times where my kids want nothing to do with what I'm having for dinner, or me and my husband. And that's going to happen. I don't force them to eat what I'm eating. I do offer it to them, and if they say, I don't want it, then I make them something else. But what I'm making them is basic whole plant foods, things that are very simple, nothing extravagant. I actually have a list. Let me show you. I'm going to take you with me over to my refrigerator to show you my fancy schmancy list right here. Now, I know I could probably type this up and make it all beautiful, or do one of those, boards with the chalk or whatever. But I ain't got time for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my regular old loose leaf paper that was ripped out of the notebook. But on this, I have things that Finley likes, things that Max likes, and things that they like together down here in this box that are plant-based. So that way, if I'm making something and they're like, oh, Mom, we don't want to eat that, or Finley usually says, I'm not eating that, then I will quickly look on this list, find something that they like that's very easy, that I can piece together, that I can actually put together while I'm cooking, and then we all sit down and eat together, all of our different separate meals. So again, I'm not making them extravagant things. What's on this list? Let's say Max, he loves oatmeal. He loves the stir fry, which I'm making tonight. He loves peanut butter toast, avocado toast, a protein shake, ramen noodles, a sushi bowl. These, again, guys, are all super easy. Now, to make sure that my kids are getting enough nutrition, I'm usually coupling, peanut butter toast with a fruit and a veggie. If they want a protein shake, I make sure that has some healthy fat in there, and I'm giving them a lot of veggies with it, usually broccoli. I think you get the idea. But again, if your kids or whoever in your family doesn't want to eat what you're eating and you have to unfortunately make it, my tip to you is to keep their meals just as simple as your meals. If you start to make extravagant things for them, it's going to complicate things for you. Even if your meal's simple, it's gonna be stressful. So keep everybody's meals simple, easy, and I think you're good to go. I also highly recommend keeping a list handy. That way you're not sitting around thinking like, oh, okay, gosh, what am I gonna make this person? And what am I gonna, just have it on hand, look it up, make it. So this meal is awesome because not only does everyone love it, but it's so fast and easy. I love to take the easy route, as you probably know. This is just frozen rice, and then we're gonna be throwing in some frozen shelled edamame. And then I normally throw in shredded carrots, but I don't have any, so I went ahead and just chopped up some of these little petite carrots, and that's it. So I'm going to be putting in a little bit of veggie broth first instead of oil. I'm gonna put that in there, and then I'm gonna start throwing in my ingredients. Now, if this was just for me or just me and my husband, I would probably throw in some spinach in this dish, some bell peppers, but since the kids are eating this, we're just gonna go ahead and keep it simple with veggies that I know they like, which they love edamame and they love carrots. So once this kind of defrosts a little bit, I'm going to be adding some nutritional yeast and some low sodium soy sauce. And one thing to note, if you have to add more veggie broth because the original veggie broth you put in there is evaporating, just go ahead and add a little more. Now, for my kids, I usually always serve this with some type of fruit. Usually it's an apple. They love apples. And then for me, I'm gonna be just putting lots of spinach here on the bottom just to get some extra greens in for today. And then I'm going to be serving me up some of this fried rice. Well, not fried rice. You know what I mean. All right, so that's it for me today. Please, if you are new here, consider subscribing to this channel. I release a video every Monday, and what I love to do on this channel is just show you how you can live a whole foods plant-based diet very easy and thrive. I love to share all the tips and tricks that I did to finally make this lifestyle stick for me, and I love to include ways that I finally got healthy and lost 50 pounds of body fat. So again, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button as well. Leave a comment for me below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought about my husband here on this video. He's very excited to be on my channel. So if you could, show them a little love. All right, so my kids are about to come in from playing outside. We're gonna sit down and eat, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.